Hey everybody, and welcome to Fimblewolf Gaming. We are back in the Ettenmoors. So, last time we were here, we were fighting our way through High Pass. We had left Rivendell. This was kind of the War in the North version of the War of the Rings. So you go down south, you've got Isengard, Rohan, Gondor, Mordor, you got the events of the Fellowship, and that's all playing out. But at the same time, we've got Glorfindel and Gloin fighting the war in the north. So we're talking Mordor and goblins, elves and dwarves. So Glorfindel and Gloin left Rivendell after an assault by the goblins, and they moved through High Pass to try and make their way to the elves to strengthen the elven alliance in the west. Problem was, as they got through High Pass, they found out that there's a goblin stronghold in the Ettenmoors. So the Ettenmoors is kind of like... Exactly. They were held by the Witch-King of Angmar. It was like, I believe it was Carn Doom, originally, and then became the Ettenmoors. In this region, we're going to be dealing with goblins who have taken control of the Witch-King's fortress, and we're going to be dealing with some Ents. So now that we're here, let's go ahead and start exploring. Our goal is to reconnect with our forces who are under attack at the moment and build up a settlement. Then once we have that, we're going to assault the new fortress that the goblins have taken control of, and we're going to sack it. We're going to try and kill the Goblin King, and that way we can move forward throughout the region unaffected. Okay, so let's start out. Let's just clear a path through these goblins. Our warriors need to take the brunt of the damage, and our Silverthorn Arrow Lorien archers are going to shoot these goblins. Silverthorn is great. It just makes things go flying. I love it. I'm going to try and save Elven Woods and Mist until we get close to the settlement. We're not in any rush. It's a triggered event, so our troops aren't going to be like slowly dying until we get there. So feel free to just take your time and kill things slowly. These guys, we want to get away because I don't want the goblins to kill them. You guys... Okay, Gloin finished attacking the tunnel. My archers need to kill their archers because I don't like the fire arrows. And let's also get the gold. Come on, you guys, go get the gold. Okay. So, this is probably the first level where you're going to get access to everything. And part of that is because this is our introduction to Siege for the elves. We're going to get Ents. I'm probably not going to use that many. I don't find Ents that useful. But we do get access to Ents through this level, and we will get access to an Ent Moot. So we'll be able to train more Ents. They're not as powerful as they were in the first game, but they're still decent. So that's the main portion of this level. It's kind of a chance to, again, stretch our wings, kind of play around a bit, without having to worry too much about any real consequences. But we also get access to Siege, and we get basically everything the elves have to offer. Okay, so up here, we've got this elven settlement. Let's set these guys to guard. They're probably going to die, but we're going to set them to guard to kind of buy us some time. And then our army's going to come through. Let's kill the troll, and thinking, let's go Rallying Cry, or Rally Call. That's probably the most useful one out of all these right now. So at the beginning of the level, Haldir left to go get reinforcements. He's come back with Mirkwood elves. Now we're just going to destroy these upgraded goblins. They're not super dangerous, but they are more annoying when they're upgraded, so you do want to watch your troops just a bit. I don't think we saved anybody from this settlement, but that's okay because we have a place to build now. Okay. So, full disclosure, you can play this entire level without the Ents. It's not necessary. They're not that useful in this situation because Gloin can tear down the wall with his ability, and because we can also get access to eagles. So, each fortress has some sort of ability after you get the increased armor. For men, they get the Ivory Tower, which in my case, I think it's maybe my favorite, because it basically gives you whole line of sight for the whole map. But then you have some where it's like we just launch a ball of fire or lightning or whatever to kill a giant army, and then you have the elves and the goblins who give you a unit from your fortress for at least for 0 command points. So you can get drakes for the goblins, and you can get eagles for the elves. So we get access to eagles now because we can upgrade our fortress all the way. So the eagles are really useful because they can basically take down the walls just like Gloin can, so we really have no need for ents. I may still get Treebeard at some point, but we don't need ents. Okay, so most levels have a twist. This level really doesn't. The closest thing to it is this drum that we're about to deal with. I've got my heroes dealing with it at the moment. It's not an issue. Basically, a troll goes up, throws a rock at the drum, and it can summon mountain giants, but mountain giants aren't really a big issue because we have Silverthorn and heroes, so screw those guys. Yep, they already summoned the drum. There's the mountain giant. Let's kill him. They might destroy that Malorn tree. That would be unfortunate. We're just going to keep building more. See, we killed him quick. And there's a ton of gold up here. That's the closest thing to a twist. This level is really straightforward, guys. Okay, let's go ahead. Let's rally our troops. I'm going to use these guys to clear out... I'm going to use my heroes to clear out kind of the mountain giants and the trolls and troll layers. And I'm going to use my units to go through and basically clear out the tunnels and the towers. In the meantime, I'm just going to be building some Malorn trees. The more of these we get, the better. The elven economy is... it's maybe the weakest in the game. When we play Witch-King, Angmars will be about on par. Though even they, I think, have an ability that will help increase the amount of resources they get. But the elves, they just have a really terrible economy. Like they have the base level that you get, that everyone gets. But everybody else gets some sort of buff. Men get Grand Harvest. The dwarves used to have a really good one. The dwarves have Dwarven Treasures, and it basically buffs your resources by 300%. It used to be permanent. Now it is temporary. There was one version of the game where it was like a passive, so everything got buffed map-wide. So those were really powerful. And then, of course, the evil, they get a ton of things. They can get... oh, let's kill this troll. They can get things to actually buff your economy, like fuel the furnace, stuff like that. But they also get lumber mills. And lumber mills get you an insane amount of money. But we don't have any of those. We have Malorn trees, and that's it. So we would need to build a lot of them. And I'm going to build as many as I can. Let's build one up here. Once they're upgraded, it's not too bad, but it does just feel like you don't get money nearly as fast as you spend it. And it's kind of frustrating. Okay, let's build another barracks. Kill these goblins. Destroy the rubble. Treasure. Yeah, see that $7,000 I have? Close to 8,000? It's going to be gone in seconds. That's one thing throughout this game. You know, money can go real quick. Even when you're in like the tens of thousands, it can go quick. Okay, let's get floodgates back there. I'm going to build these walls up in front of the Malorn trees. Up and around, and then I'm going to put in a gate on either side. And then I'm thinking behind them, I'm going to put in some vigilant ents. You don't have to lay out your fortress like this. You can do it however you like. I found against the computer, the best thing to do is get some Silverthorn arrows and get a ton of arrow towers. And that... why is my builder under attack? Oh, that's not okay. I was building a tree up there, you jerks. Let's get Tom Bombadil. Yeah, I found against the computer the best thing to do is just a ton of arrow towers. I don't know why, but they don't target arrow towers as aggressively as they target siege. Siege does less, does more to your own units, and so it's really useful just have a bunch of arrow towers or axe towers. In a map versus a player, it's kind of a toss-up. In this map, I'm just going to put the floodgates in front, though. We're going to build some walls out for a little bit of defense. It's not like we're actually going to get attacked that hard. I'd like to have them as a little bit of security. We can't get the ents until we get to the ent moat, so we'll take care of that in a bit. Build me an elven barracks. You can build a pool of Galadriel, and we'll get the Mystic Fountain, so this builder will heal up some. Screw it. He'll heal over time. We'll build the barracks. I want 4 of these. Okay. This map, some levels are really easy, some levels are really hard. This one is really easy. In fact, it might be the easiest in the game. I guess maybe Rivendell, but this is a ridiculously easy level. So you guys should not have a whole lot of trouble with this. Take your time, enjoy it, practice a little, figure out what layout you like for your fortress. But there's no rush here, so we're just going to take our time. We're going to build things up. We're going to build an army. Hopefully get an economy that doesn't suck. Yes, I saw that gold. We'll get it eventually. Down in the left corner, I'm aware it's there. That's what Glorfindel's for. Okay. Build me another Malorn tree, please. It frustrates me. So, I have a friend I play this game with, and he keeps calling them Malorn trees. And it's like, the game pronounces it for you. Why do you say it wrong? Alright. We'll build that once the fog of war is gone, so that we get better access to resources. Not much. Okay. Get the gold, please. And micromanage a bit, because I didn't realize how many were over here. And it'd be great if my Mirkwood elves were doing, you know, anything. Let's go kill those guys. Ooh, more than I thought. I don't really worry about Goblin Warriors that much. I mean, the Forged Blades are not going to be fun, but everything else should be alright. Okay, come on. And you know I'm building these, and I'm probably never going to use a green pasture. They are nice, though, if you need a building with, you know, halfway decent health points and arrow towers, because you can upgrade them pretty cheaply. They'll live longer than your battle towers, and they'll still shoot stuff. So I mean, it's not the worst investment ever. Get that gold later. We'll kill that goblin later. Silly Gorkil. Let's go ahead and use this miss. It'll weaken their armor, so maybe my warriors will live. Probably not, but you know, there's a chance. Can they live? They're level 5. I'd love to keep them if they'll live. They're probably gonna die. No way, they made it! Sweet! Okay, so there's a couple of bonus objectives. I've been going around destroying these sentry towers and tunnels because those are a couple of bonus objectives. And they get you gold. We're gonna do that. I think it's that and free an end from the Ettenmoors, and then that's it. So it's not a particularly difficult level. And once you destroy all the tunnels too, they can't really attack you anymore because they don't have access to the rest of the map. Their walls don't have a gate. I mean, technically goblins can climb over walls, but they don't really do that in this level. Let's get the fortress upgrades. And some gold. And another pasture. Come on. There's like nowhere to build on this map. It's kind of frustrating.
There is much to do. Ready your tools.
Can you build me a forge, please? Let's do that. Let's get some upgrades. And now we're broke.
The enemy has made camp here.
Oh, sweet. Let's destroy that.
Ready your tools. Coming through. We've expanded in line, archers. Advance.
I like to put my builders in towers to keep them alive longer. Okay, please don't attack the troll with swordsmen. That is the dumbest thing ever. Okay, we freed the Ettenmoors. There's one objective. Sweet. We'll probably get Treebeard. I don't know if we'll get any other ends, but Treebeard's a good one to have. He's a little bit tankier than the rest of them. He gives leadership, and he heals over time, so...
This way.
Come on. Give me a green pasture, please.
This place is not fitting. Building supplies coming. This way, archers. Advance.
Okay, so while I've got a spare moment to talk about it, let's talk about what's coming down the pike in the campaign. So, well, can I do that?
Remain wary, elves.
I'll go ahead and say it. It kind of ruins the story that they'll explain it in more detail when you play for yourself and see. But basically what happens is we're going to go destroy the old fortress of Angmar. We're going to kill the Goblin King, and we're going to find out that in the dungeons there's this dwarf who's been imprisoned for a long time. Turns out that his mountain home was seized by a dragon named Drogoth. So in the evil campaign, we basically hire out Drogoth to fight for us. In the good campaign, Drogoth has taken over the Blue Mountains, and the dwarves have been driven from their home by a dragon, and so now their goal is to go and retake the Blue Mountains. So we're going to get our first real introduction to the dwarves in the next level. And you get basically everything. There's a few things you don't get, but you get basically everything. So it'll be a good map and a good chance to really play test the dwarves. So we're gonna be switching factions soon, and we're gonna get access to a completely different playstyle because the elves are a lot more fast and hard hitting and lightweight units, and the dwarves are slow moving heavy units. But basically, okay, so we're gonna go help the dwarves reclaim their home from the dragon, and then hopefully strengthen the elven-dwarven relations so that we can deal with the goblins on the west side of the Misty Mountains and Mordor in the east of the Misty Mountains. That's kind of the goal here. If we can forge that alliance, then we can start to push back against Sauron's forces. I think I've said it before, but in the movies, it's kind of got this feel like, oh, if we destroy the One Ring, Sauron's just done. That's all his army are just gonna, they just die all at once. It's very nice for like cinematic effect, but for the actual story, they could have defeated Sauron without destroying the ring, and they could have destroyed the ring and still lost to Sauron's forces because there were just so many orcs, and Sauron needed an army to be successful. So if the men of the West had defeated his army, Sauron would have been done. The problem is that the Free Peoples just didn't have strong armies at the time compared to Sauron's army. They were able to turn the tide after the loss of the One Ring because orcs are generally kind of tribal and they fight with each other a lot, and they can be a powerful army if you can bring them under the leadership of one strong leader. Like Gorkil, for example. He's a Goblin King because he's a strong warlord because he got a bunch of goblins to fall in line behind him. But that's not something that's easily done. And if the leader dies, then the orcs kind of descend into chaos a bit. They become more unruly and they stop listening to orders. And so it's a lot easier to defeat them, which is basically how it worked out in the books. this game kind of plays like the book logic is in play, even though it supports the movies. It plays a lot more like the games in the sense, it plays a lot more like the books in the sense that we actually have to go through and wipe out the army. We actually have to go through and destroy all of the units that Sauron has at his disposal, all his underlings, all his grunts, all of that. Because if we don't, those orcs are still going to go through. They're still going to attack the dwarven homelands. They're still going to attack the elven homelands. Ring or no ring, we're still screwed. So we have to be able to fight this war in the north. That's why we're trying to strengthen these relations. And it's also fun to play as the dwarves. So that's kind of what's coming down the pike. Hopefully that's a bit of a preview to what's coming. It is going to get more difficult. Not next level, and not the level after. I would say levels 6 through 8 are going to be really difficult. So we're kind of, these next few levels, we're just trying to get our sea legs, get accustomed to the gameplay, and then it's going to get real really fast. So that's what we can be ready for. Alright, I'll also take a moment, let's talk about peasants. Peasants, pretty much useless. I like them though, because they're only 10 command points and only $100. So each faction has a unit that can train from the inns. Elves used to have hobbits. That got reworked with the newer updates. So elves no longer have hobbits, they have peasants. Why peasants? Lord only knows. It would have made sense like Elves of the Last Alliance or something like that. But we have peasants now. In the Witch-King you can upgrade them and they're actually halfway decent. In this they're unupgraded, all in units are unupgradable, and so they just are what they are. It's better than hobbits, because at the very least you get 10 units instead of 8. They're a little bit stronger than a hobbit. And the hobbits, they just, unless you're spawning them through summonable power on top of one siege unit, they're really not that useful. Dwarves got screwed over. Dwarves used to have Men of Dale for cheap, and Men of Dale are like some of the best archers in the game. And now they have hobbits, which are basically useless. You can't upgrade hobbits. It's dumb. We're going to use peasants for this, though. I'm just going to use a bunch of peasants because they don't need to be upgraded, so it'll save me some time. They're good fluff units, so they'll absorb most of the damage, and I don't have to worry about my main army of upgraded elves taking too much heat. So we're just going to get a ton of peasants. And then I think I'll get Treebeard as well. We'll set them to aggressive. They don't need to live. I care less for these peasants than any king named Louis, alright? That's how little these guys matter to me. I'm busy building Versailles, and these guys are gonna be causing a reign of terror for the goblins. It's fine. It's fine. More peasants, please. In the first game, they were actually pretty good, which is weird. But, like, you know, they had to be capable of holding their own against every other infantry in the game. So once you get drafted and once you upgrade them, they're actually halfway decent. And then, of course, they also had to be able to deal with the fact that every other faction in the first game had pikemen, except for Rohan. So the peasants had to make up for that. Now, we just kind of have weak grunt units, but that's okay. That's all we really need. You guys know how I play. I used a ton of goblin warriors last round, even though like half-troll swordsmen or mountain giants or spider riders would have been infinitely more useful. We're going to put these fluff units in the way, though. It's fine. Do I want an eagle? I think I want an eagle, guys. They don't cost command points. We can just get them. I also kind of want Treebeard. So, bare minimum 3,000, but that's okay. Why does my economy suck?
Keep your spirits high. Countrymen.
Okay, come on, come on. I need you, Treebeard. Yeah.
Come together, my friends.
Okay. I think we've got all the peasants we can afford if we're gonna, if we need the, if we want to get Treebeard, we need the command points for him, so we can only get 4 more peasants. But you can see, I mean, it's like, what, probably 500 peasants? That's a good amount if we're just trying to throw bodies in the way. Okay, there's our eagle. Our army's basically good. Train a couple more guys. I'll buy the upgrades just in case some of my other units are missing 1 or 2. I don't think they are, though. Come on. Ooh. Ooh. There's Treebeard. Sure, go for it, Blades. It'd be nice if I could upgrade all these guys. Upgraded peasants for 10 command points apiece and $100, those would be insane. That would be completely broken to trade hobbits for that. Oh, baby. Dwarves really got screwed though. That made me so unhappy. Men kind of got screwed too. They used to have Dunedain Rangers, and now they get the Lothlorien elves that show up at Helm's Deep in the movies, which are still really good. But it's like Dunedain Rangers were so cool. Like, objectively, it's probably better to have the elves and the rangers. They do everything the rangers did except for the long shot, and they have heavy armor, and they have forge blades. So, objectively, it's probably a better deal, but just... Dunedain are so cool. They sound cool. They look cool. They're just normal rangers, but they're cooler. And so it made me upset. Okay, so you guys don't need any upgrades. That's good to know.
Watch for the enemy.
It says they need banners, they don't. They're level 5. Go ahead and buy it. Alright. It's time. We are going to tear this place down. So, I have 1 Ent. Treebeard will do alright. Actually, if you had built an army out of Ents, you probably would have been alright too. They're really strong. They do a lot of damage to buildings and units. I think 2 hits, Treebeard will have this wall down. Yeah. Gloin's Slam can also bring the wall down. Let's go ahead and use that. And then this eagle can tear the wall down as well. So we've got a lot of options. Alright, now that we've got a hole through this wall, let's go ahead and destroy everything. Okay, let's go ahead and use all of our stuff. Let's use our heal so that Gloin doesn't die from all the poison. That is the one thing you want to watch out for with goblins. They definitely have a lot of poison, and if you're not paying attention, you're like, oh, what happened to all of my hero's health? Let's go ahead and kill the Goblin King too. Okay. Let's not destroy that yet. I want to destroy that tunnel. Let's get the bonus objectives, right? Is that the last one? Yeah, it's the last one. Okay, so we just have to destroy the keep and the tunnel. And that's everything. And you want to destroy the tunnel first because it's a bonus objective, so if you destroy the keep, you won't have a chance to destroy the tunnel. Alright, let's destroy the last few goblins that were inside the tunnel. Like I said, a really easy level. That was it. Literally, I took the starting units and peasants. And I guess I had Treebeard, but that was, you know, really unnecessary. Alright, and we just mopped the floor with this place. Easy money. You guys have no problems here. I look forward to seeing you guys when we do the level in the Blue Mountains. Alright, that's coming up next. We're going to get some good action with the dwarves. We're going to get to use some of their abilities. So that'll be a lot of fun. And we'll get a good look at some of their units as well. So I'm really excited for that. I look forward to seeing you guys there. In the meantime, thanks for joining us over here at Thimblewolf Gaming. Go ahead and like and subscribe. It helps a lot. And I will see you guys, hopefully in a couple of weeks. I'm trying to stay on top of this, but life gets busy. Alright, thanks for joining, guys.